Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Be Better podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Perkins. Today's episode is called Be Better with Your Fitness and Health, featuring Alana Laux. What is Be Better Podcasting? It's really simple. Be Better Podcasting shares knowledge from fascinating people all the way to pop culture. You are encouraged to glean from this content to be better in the world. All right, let's transition to our guest, Alana Laux. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you feeling?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
Hey, I can't complain. Happy Saturday night. And you're out there in sunny California. So good for you. I'm here in fabulous Phoenix. Let's have
Awesome.
some fun with this, okay?
Will do.
All right. Let's start with the $1 million question. The number $1 million question is, would you please tell the audience about yourself and how you transitioned later in your life to your food prep business? So you're focusing on nutrition and then your fitness business.
Absolutely. So my background, I went to UC Davis to pursue a pre-medical degree and continue on to medical school. So ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a doctor, and health and nutrition was just a passion of mine. I always was involved with sports growing up. I was always fascinated by the human body and how amazing the body is, truly. So that really kind of started when I was a child. And my parents were very active. My siblings, we were always put in sports. So when I went to college, I was a sprinter on the track team. And, that further deepened my passion for health and fitness. So that's kind of how I got involved on this career path in the first place. But in my attempt to go on to medical school during my application process, I found out that I was pregnant. So I had an unplanned pregnancy, and out of the gate, I was a single mom. So medical school, I did not pursue because who was going to raise my child for me, right? So what I did instead was I said, okay, well, I have this degree in physiology and anatomy and nutrition. How can I bless others? How can I share my passion but educate people without going to medical school? Now that I'm a single mom, God had a different plan for me, right? So I started a mom's boot camp. So that was kind of how I launched my business, and I was able to bring my son with me. So not only was I able to provide for my son through that business venture, but I was also able to impact the lives of so many other women and moms that really needed a better understanding of health, wellness, and how to bounce back from pregnancies. So that's kind of how I got started. And the food prep business just complemented that so beautifully because, as most of us know, nutrition is such a huge part of getting those results that we want in our fitness goals.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. You pulled on a string. I want to pull that string a little bit more when it comes to nutrition and fitness.
Yes.
So help us connect the dots. Why is it so important? They need each other, fitness and health. Why do both rely on each other?
In terms of, you mean fitness and nutrition?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. There you go.
Right. So I always tell my clients you cannot outwork a bad diet. Okay. So, and I also like to say the cliche phrase that muscle is built in the gym, fat is lost in the kitchen. So I love that because it's so true. You can gain so many amazing results from exercise and fitness alone, improving our cardiovascular health, minimizing the risk of disease, building strength, stamina, muscle tone, burning calories, on and on, right? So there are great benefits to exercise alone. However, if you're really trying to build muscle to a greater extent, and simultaneously lose body fat and lose inches, nutrition is really where it's at. So the marriage, I should say, of both of those things is where you're going to see the greatest results. So nutrition alone, you'll get some results. Exercise alone, you'll get some results. But if you unify both and are on track in both your health, fitness, and nutrition, then you're going to have exponentially greater results than you would if you just focused on those entities individually.
What type of nutrition would you recommend that would give you those results? For example, me, I eat a lot of plant-based foods, and that helps me
Mhm.
out in a lot of areas. Digestion, you just feel more energetic. We know more of a vegetable diet is just has a lot of benefits
Mhm.
all around. It actually has more protein than a meat diet, and a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know that.
Right.
So what would you recommend as far as healthier foods for people?
So I am just all about whole foods. And what I mean by that is not necessarily the grocery store whole foods, but yeah, because then you'll drain your bank account. But what I mean are foods that God has given us that grow naturally in our earth, off of the trees, things that aren't packaged and processed. So those things are just going to assimilate better and more efficiently in our GI tract, as well as the absorption to our muscles, our skin, all of our organs, right? So I'm also very plant based in my eating, but I have also done anything from a really heavy meat, high protein, low carb diet to prep for bodybuilding competitions, all the way to now I'm pretty much solely plant based and have cut out dairy and a lot of animal proteins. However, animal proteins, sometimes my body craves them and I honor that. So I really kind of honor the body. I'm very in tune with myself, but I definitely am all about fruits, vegetables, being more plant-based, reducing your inflammatory foods such as dairies can really kind of give people issues. Sometimes gluten, if you have an intolerance, and your sugar and refined foods. So, for the majority of people who are just wanting to be healthy and have a more efficient digestion system as well as a boost in their immunity, I would say plenty of fruits and vegetables and limit the intake of dairy, alcohol, sugar, and processed foods. That would be a very general advice, generalization, I should say, of my nutritional advice.
Very good, very good. Let's switch over to the fitness side. What would you recommend for people, just especially just starting out? What would that fitness routine, look like for them?
Hmm. Well, again, it really depends on what the individual's goal is. Um, so, if they're really trying to just improve their overall stamina and muscle tone, I love the idea of functional fitness and circuit work, where you're integrating anything from cardio type stations and light weight training to basically strengthen the entire body, as well as improve cardiovascular health. So anything from like HIIT training, a lot of people have heard that term HIIT training. It stands for high intensity interval training, where you have minimal rest between sets and reps of a given exercise. I love CrossFit, but you just have to be really mindful of not doing too much and not lifting too much if you don't have proper form. So that's another great form of exercise. But for the general person who just wants to get healthy and feel better, I love the idea of getting active, go outdoors, go on a hike, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Just these small little choices that we can make daily that have a great compound effect later in life.
I
So,
appreciate your words because that was my next question. Someone with a mindset of, I want to get started, but I'm struggling up here with my
mhm,
mindset. And you hit it on the head. Just simple little things like instead of taking the elevator, take the steps.
yes,
Maybe
exactly.
go for a small walk, a short walk,
Right. Because
just to get kind of started.
absolutely. It can be intimidating, especially for someone who has been stagnant or leads a sedentary lifestyle. The idea of health and fitness can be extremely overwhelming, and people think, oh my gosh, I have to hire a trainer and I have to get on a meal plan and I have to, never drink alcohol again. And it doesn't have to be so extreme. Just start just start
Start.
somewhere. So
There you
whether
go.
that's going on a hike, getting outdoors, being active, playing with your kids outside versus inside on the video games, that's really a great place to start. And then as you build confidence and security in that, then you can improve and say, you know what, I'm feeling good. I'm staying consistent in this. Now I'm going to pick up some light weight training. Now I'm going to join the gym or maybe work out with a friend or my spouse. Maybe I want to hire a trainer to really elevate to the next level. So, again, just start small, get active. That's the first thing. And then you can move on to other things, like I said, HIIT training or CrossFit or a gym or Orange Theory or hire a trainer. It can look so many different ways. Peloton, that's huge during COVID, right? So there's so many great avenues and so many online platforms as well where you can really connect with a trainer or a group, a fitness group to help hold you accountable and stay motivated.
Excellent words. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank
What are your
you.
future plans with the fitness and health business that you have going there? When I say health, I mean nutrition. So,
Mhm.
what are your future plans? Do you have any plans to expand? Any new products? Any new fitness routines? Is it just going to stay as is for a little bit until you figure out your next step?
Absolutely. So I have some big goals with where I'm headed on these things. So I'll focus on the nutrition aspect first, and then I'll discuss my fitness goal. So with the nutrition aspect, currently I do organic meal prep for clients, right? So I grocery shop and cook for clients based on their nutritional needs. Anything from, I might have a 400-pound client trying to lose weight, all the way to someone just needing healthy meals, to a bodybuilder competitor that I'm cooking and prepping for. So I love the challenge of working with different food types, different meal plans based on the individual's needs. However, I'm wanting to branch that out into the convenience of our culture. People want things fast, people want things, accessible. So the long-term goal with my nutrition business is to really get it to the level of a fast food organic restaurant where people can have healthy, organic, fresh prepped meals at the convenience of, a mobile order or a drive-through capacity. So really kind of expanding that business to more of a fast food model, right? Trying to revolutionize the McDonald's, if you will, and bring health to the community. So that's the nutrition goal. And then for the fitness, I currently own and run my own private studio. But what I would love to do is actually create a fitness book, like an ebook or a fitness plan that coincides with basically almost like a devotional, right? So give different workouts that are faith based and motivational so that we can tie in the spiritual and mental aspect into fitness so that it's not just exercise driven, but that it can really tie in the holistic person, which is like mental, physical, and spiritual. So that's what I'm working on, and that will be basically, I'm going to give myself this year to complete all of the different workouts coinciding with the spiritual devotional that matches that workout routine, and offer a meal plan that will go with that as well.
Please do that. Please do that. I
Thank
think that's a
you.
beautiful thing. Please, I think it's needed, and I think you'll be successful at it. So that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Let's have a fun question. What would your experienced self say to your younger self if you could go back in time?
Oh, so many things. Goodness, where do I start? I would say to have more fun and not take life so seriously. Life is short, so really cherishing the moment, the now. I was so driven to be a doctor, and I was always in my room studying. I never really took the opportunity to meet new friends and go out and experience life. So I think it was a blessing that I became a mom so young, because that forced me to take a different path and to learn that life is so precious and valuable, and we really need to focus on our goals but have fun doing it, right? So that's kind of what I would tell to my younger self.
Awesome, awesome. What are the rewards and challenges of your business?
Oh, there's so many rewards. I would say the number one thing is relationships, building beautiful, impactful, lifelong relationships. I'm extremely close with my clients. You build a great companionship where you're not only their coach, your trainer, but also they become family to you. So that's definitely the best reward. Um, Also, being able to bring my kids. You could probably hear my baby in the background. She's 10 months old. And my son, he's 11 years old, right? Because I had him much younger. So there's a 10-year gap there. But I'm able to bring my kids to work with me. And at the Moms Boot Camp group, children are welcome. And we just have a tribe. We're a community. We support one another. And that's the beauty of it. So those are like the main rewards. And then the challenges, I like to say, challenges is just an opportunity to grow yourself. So all the challenges that I have faced, you just have to pivot your business model, keep the faith, and manifest opportunities. So I've never really, my business has always done great. I'm not on social media. I'm an old school, like old soul type of gal. I am like a referral based business. And I am totally booked. And I'm super grateful and thankful to God for that. But even with COVID, I've been able to stay afloat and been able to keep my fitness studio open as well. So, like I said, there have been challenges with COVID, mostly being forced to shut my business down and close the doors as a mandate. But a lot of people face that, and you just pivot, right? Then I just did online training. I kept those relationships alive. I would, video workouts and meal plans to clients to keep them accountable. And that really allowed me to coast through the pandemic and keep all my clientele and grow.
That's good to hear a success story that did not involve social media.
Yes.
You have a passion, a courage, and you just reached out locally,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a successful business. So that's a good message to for the listeners to say everything is not always reliant on social media. You can do things if you want to locally and build your brand from there.
Absolutely.
So very good to hear that. You have a strong mindset. It's obvious from this interview. Do you include personal development in that mindset to keep it courageous, strong, and moving forward?
Absolutely. It's a must. I love that Cherokee story of the grandfather telling the grandson about the white wolf and the black wolf, right? Do you know that parable? And okay, so basically it's the little boy asks, well, which wolf wins, right? The good wolf and the bad wolf, which one wins? And the grandfather says, whichever one you feed. And so I love that because we have that inner conflict, right? And that's where the personal development and mentorship has come in and been incredible for me because sometimes I wake up and I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to, I don't want to work. I want to lay in bed and be lazy, right? There are those days where I'm tired and I don't get much rest with the baby, but I have to decide, who do I want to show up as today? Who do I want to impact? And which wolf do I want to feed? Do I want to feed that lazy, negative, doubtful, fearful wolf inside? Or do I want to feed that impacting, dreaming, positive, amazing wolf, right? Which one's going to win is the one you feed. And so I have to feed that. I have to feed that. And I do it with mentorship weekly. So I actually have a coach that I speak with on a weekly basis through the Tony Robbins program, which is amazing. And then I also make sure that I am on point in my faith walk and spiritual walk, which sometimes is attending church or just listening to motivational sermons and speeches online. I love ET. I love Pastor TD Jakes. So I try to feed my mind and heart those things on a daily basis. And that is pivotal, really. It's so important for me and so many people to have that in their life, to stay optimistic and to make an impact during your journey here on earth.
And that's great to hear. As you know, we need inspiration every day, like we need to bathe. We need to refresh every day because
Yes.
life hits us sometimes, and sometimes we're not all, happy.
Yes,
So that's awesome to
absolutely.
hear that you include that personal development piece. How do you balance all of this in your family life?
That's a tough one. Um, you know, the work-life balance can be challenging because so many of us are parents and so many of us are trying to provide, especially if you're a business owner and entrepreneur like myself. Um, the beautiful thing is I'm able to incorporate my children in my work, which is huge. And that is such a blessing. But I know a lot of people don't have that opportunity, or their work structure doesn't allow that, right? So that really helps me to balance, because I can bring my baby with me while I train the women at boot camp, while I'm with my one-on-one private sessions, or when I'm meal prepping. All of those things my family is involved with. So they're kind of integrated in my work, and I love it because my children are growing up seeing me basically work hard to provide for them and to bless other people. Um, but if I really want to kind of check out from work and have quality time, then I make sure to go on hikes with my family. We love to take vacations, or just simple movie night. And that's really a way that we disconnect from our phones and disconnect from that drive to build and work and make money. And we just kind of reset, put phones away, get a movie on, get blankets, cuddle up, everybody have a family movie night. So we kind of like to be simple, Netflix and chill.
Gotcha. With all of this going on, what is your workout routine? Do you work out with the clients? Do you get yourself time to do your workout throughout the week? What does that look like for you?
Man, so I do not work out with my clients. I like to just kind of focus solely on them and kick their butts. So I make sure that they have 100% of my attention, and I'm on them for their sessions, right? So I do not work out with my clients, although that would be very fun. But I love to just have that be my private time to work out on my own. So I do incorporate strength training and yoga as well. So that's what I'm currently doing. And my advice for self and for everyone listening is that life, there's so many different seasons, right? And you just have to adapt, you have to adjust. So right now, with my busy life and my new baby, I can't work out like I used to. I don't get the luxury of working out 6 days a week with one rest day and having ample amount of free time, right? So with baby now, and I'm still nursing her, I just get in when I can. So sometimes it means she's fussy and I'm just holding her and doing squats. Or, you have to be flexible, just get active. Sometimes that's me going on a hike to the mountain, local here, where my son and baby, we can load baby up in the stroller and we just go on a nice hike. My son, who's 11, he'll work out with me. So sometimes I'm doing a lot of at-home routines just to tie in my children as well. And then I do love yoga, and that's a great balance for me, the strength, but then that balance of the calm and the stretching. I think that's a really great complementary program for myself personally right now, for what my body needs during this season of motherhood.
Thank you for sharing that. Final couple questions. Do you have any additional thoughts, advice for the audience?
I think the biggest thing is, you want to be healthy because you only have one you. Our body is the only place we have to live. So take care of it, right? And if we are not healthy and strong enough to provide and be present for our children, our spouse, our communities, our families, then what are we doing, right? So we really need to prioritize health and wellness so that we can take care of others, right? I have to be fulfilled and strong and full in order to pour out to other people. So it's really not a selfish thing to get fit, right? It doesn't have to be aesthetics driven. It doesn't have to be selfie mode driven. It's really about moving your body, eating clean, to be great for your family, your environment, and just to be a better you.
Very good. Excellent advice. How can you be contacted in case someone wants to reach out and get some online training? Do you have any avenue for that?
Absolutely. So as I did mention, I kick it old school. So I do not have any social media, but I am happy to be reached out personally. My email is amlaux@ucdavis.edu. That's my children, baby crying. And my phone number, my personal phone number is 925-759-7567. So that's how people can reach me via text, call, or email.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for your time in sharing your knowledge, your expertise. We really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for inviting me to share.
You are welcome. If you can just stay put, I'd like to talk to you offline. I'm just going to hit the stop and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Thank you.